all things Randi at RandiRhodes.com.
Go for launch.
Speaking truth to power, the Randi Rhodes Show.
You know, January 6th, if you talk to people that were actually there, they talk about what an inspiring, uplifting, patriotic day that was, you know, singing patriotic songs and enjoying the company of patriotic people, Ashley included. You know, I hold comfort in the fact that I've seen her walking down the inaugural path, and I see that as it was a happy moment in her life. You know, she was celebrating the fact that she was there, celebrating the fact that she just got to see Donald Trump speak. And so I appreciate everybody that was there sharing that day with her. And then, you know, it suddenly turned violent, and I would like to see the catalyst for that change, because it's my belief that the Capitol Police waged war on the American unarmed citizens that day, and the FBI were active in making sure the violence happened and actually orchestrating that day, and that's my belief.
That's Ashley Babbitt's mother, who believes that the FBI and the Capitol Police orchestrated violence on purpose against her daughter, and that's why her daughter is dead, because it was a happy day for her. She was, so happy to be singing patriotic songs. Apparently, she missed the warnings.
All hell is going to break loose tomorrow.
And it has to be vindicated to save our republic.
We will win this fight, or America will step off into 1,000 years of darkness.
The battle cries wrapped in their delusional lies about a stolen election. Steve Bannon, whose Twitter and YouTube channels were removed for rhetoric like this,
I'd put the heads on pikes.
Spent weeks on a podcast he calls The War Room, comparing the Republicans' fight to overturn a legitimate election to historic periods in the American Revolution and World War II.
I've met so many people through my life said, man, if I was a revolution, I would be with Washington and Trenton. Well, you know, this is for your time in history.
Okay. So apparently Ashley Babbitt's mother didn't get the recordings, the memo, the transcripts, or, anything from Steve Bannon and Roger Stone or Michael Flynn or John Eastman or anybody that was at the Stop the Steal rally that day. But I will tell you, she needs to read the newspaper. Tomorrow is going to be probably a recap of everything we've learned that did happen in order for January 6th to unfold in that violent, heinous way that it did. But it's also going to look at some film. I'm not clear exactly what we're going to see tomorrow, because the committee is playing their cards very close to the chest. But I have a feeling Roger Stone will be included in some of the films that we see tomorrow, and that we might get some, clearer evidence that Donald Trump knew ahead of time that this was going to be violent. Now, if Ashley Babbitt's mother cares to read a newspaper, I would suggest today's Washington Post. The article I would draw her attention to is called "New Evidence to Show Trump Was Warned of Violence on January 6th. Maybe then she could be disabused of the notion that the Capitol Police, who got beaten, not just within an inch of their lives, but were killed. 4 of them died, okay? Some through suicide, some through, a stroke, some because they were, sprayed with bear spray and had a stroke. Others, just injured beyond belief, like Michael Fanone, who was tased and had a heart attack. I would suggest that she reads this so that she would know that the Secret Service records show that Donald Trump was repeatedly told that there was brewing violence that day. I would surmise that some of the film we're going to see is going to be part of the recap film that we already saw, which will show people in the trees armed to the teeth. There are new emails for us to see tomorrow. There's new video footage for us to see tomorrow. The internal Secret Service emails seem to corroborate the most startling inside accounts of that day, according to people briefed. Remember Cassidy Hutchinson, when she testified about what she understood, that Trump understood as well. And that was that his supporters were armed. They were ready to shoot. They were ready to die. They were ready to do battle. And that Donald Trump demanded that he be allowed to go up to the Capitol to watch this unfold. The Secret Service, emails and maybe surveillance footage too is going to show that some of the people that were going to attend the Stop the Steal rally decided not to go to the grounds where the Stop the Steal rally was going to be held because they didn't want to go through the magnetometers. They wanted to hang on to their weapons, so they decided not to be closer to the stage than they might have been because they didn't want their weapons confiscated. I think we'll learn that tomorrow. And that Donald Trump knew of the risk and knew of the reality of violence that day, and that he pressed the Secret Service to take him to, the Capitol. I'll be there with you. And, they had already, told him, you cannot go there because our job is to keep you outside of violence. And it's violent. It's going to be violent. You know it's violent. And what does Trump do in response? He tweets. At that time, he tweets, Mike Pence is a coward. He tweets to those people who are all there waiting for word from him that he's going to invoke the Insurrection Act, that they can get all militia-y, that they can use all these weapons, and they could just gun down all of the Capitol Police. They can gun down the D.C. Metro Police, anybody that's there guarding the Capitol. They can just go at it. And he tweets, Mike Pence didn't have the courage. He tweets, Mike Pence didn't do it. So that they will go get violent. Because he did play the central role in fomenting this violence. Now, why Ashley Babbitt's mom can't figure this out, I don't know. Maybe mental illness runs in the family. And in that case, I feel bad that they were residing in this here country because we don't have mental health care. That's worth a damn for people that can't pay. But all of this violence was to block the certification of Joe Biden's electors. All of it was to prevent Joe Biden from being the next president of the United States, even though that was the will of 7-8 million more people in this country than the people who wanted Donald Trump to continue. And of course, he decided to watch it on TV and refuse to budge and refuse to help anybody, even after your daughter was shot and killed, which kills me, because she was an Air Force vet. But by 1 o'clock that afternoon, there was hand-to-hand combat between protesters and officers, okay? And tomorrow we're going to find out that a call was made to send reinforcements to help the overwhelmed U.S. Capitol Police, but no help was dispatched. Donald Trump didn't want help dispatched. Donald Trump wanted violence. Donald Trump didn't want to block intersections. Donald Trump didn't want to do anything but go there and watch it. He wanted to set fire to the building and then watch it burn. And it's just like what we said. It's just like what we said on election night, right? Months before the transition, right? We said, he's a psycho, and he will say, if I can't have her, meaning America, if I can't have her, nobody can, and he'll burn it down to the ground. And that's exactly what he tried to do. And we'll find out tomorrow whether that's true. Don't have time to listen to the live show? Want to hear more on your schedule? Go to randyrhodes.com and buy a stinking podcast.